welcome back, everybody, to Northern Baggers. We got an awesome one for you today. We got a true Canadian rivalry, I think, happening today, if I'm not mistaken, right? We got the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Edmonton Oilers. Let's go. What's going on, boys?
Not much, you.
What's happening, man?
Edmonton Oilers.
Well,
Ready for it.
right, yeah, for Darren.
Kevin already moved.
He moved. He's no, but seriously, we got Darren and we got Kevin. We got the boys from Regina, as we call you guys internally here, but from Regina Cornhole. So welcome to the show, fellas.
Welcome to the show, boys. And as you know, here we're Canadian, right? So we're definitely drinking beer. Because of that back screen, you can't really see it.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
Hollandia, Holland beer.
Give the old sponsor a shout out for
There
Original
you go.
16.
Nice.
So I got I'm going again with the old Flamingo, and I'm doing the 40 Creek and Pepsi, man.
Miami
Let's go.
You got to come out with the glasses and the pink shirt.
I have the Flamingo shorts. I mean, the weather was good enough today to put them on.
Pink boa.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we're finally getting some nice weather out here.
Yeah.
I see Kevin in a jacket. What's the weather like down there?
It's chilly here now. It was nice today, but
Yeah, we're supposed to hit plus 20. I think we hit it today and plus 20 Saturday, but then we're dropping back down. It's
Back down to 8.
like 5 or 6 next week. So, well, welcome to the show, boys. Great to have you on.
Thanks for having
looking
us.
forward to it.
So, Regina Cornhole League. So, Darren, let's start with you. How'd you get interested in this crazy game called cornhole, where we throw a little beanbag into a hole?
Just watching it on TV and
Really?
play it in the backyard and looking at all the stats and money that could be made and the fun that's been having, drinks you can have while you're doing it. Like It's a sport where you can take it really seriously, or you can just have backyard fun and
for sure.
enjoy it.
How long ago did you start throwing?
Only probably year and a half, 2 years max.
And it was always just from the backyard, no events or anything.
Camping, backyard, yeah.
And when you were playing at the campground, what kind of boards were they? Were they like the pro elite boards that have the fine finish?
No, just the homemaders. Yeah, right size though. We've always had the right size.
Okay.
Never had the old crappy net ones from
with the 3 holes in it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say Canadian Tire, but I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people probably either have a set of those or played on a set of those for sure, because I know that's what I've known cornhole as before. We now know what it is now, or what we're trying to kind of emulate from the States. But like those, you just throw it in. But what a world of a difference it makes, right? Like you guys can probably attest to, like, if anybody's watching that, maybe it's like, oh yeah, I have a set, I can play in like a virtual tournament. Why not? Like, the boards and bags do make a difference. They truly do.
Huge.
Correct?
Well, and we're telling all of our new people starting that we've done it. We bought the $40 set, 2 sets of bags, cheapies. They're terrible.
Yeah,
we bought the Amazon, $70 ones for 2 sets. Terrible. Go to our guys and order the real stuff right away, and you're going to notice a huge difference, and you're going to enjoy the game a lot more.
Nice.
And it's weird because they're doing it now.
Yeah. And I also want to get back to Kevin for a sec. Kevin, tell us your start in cornhole. When would you get introduced to the game?
Camping, probably 4 or 5 years ago, on a little shitty set of Canadian Tire boards. More of a drinking until we found out how competitive. Well, we got pretty competitive at the campsite too, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Always.
And when you guys started at the campground, was it 27 feet, or was it just that's far enough? Just stop.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. It was always as far as the ladies could throw.
Yes. Yeah.
How did you find the transition once you did go to 27 feet? Was it a hard transition to like kind of get into, or did you get it right away?
No, not really. Well, me and Caesar kind of get it right away.
and
we almost have to sandbag in our league just so we don't win all the time.
Listen, I wish you would have sandbagged in the virtual tournament that we did. And
I
some of
did.
those games. You did, yeah.
You did one time.
At the wrong time, though. You sandbagged at the wrong
Holy
time.
shit.
Like, what happened? Me too, though. I mean, we could talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get into that. But I didn't sandbag, I'll be honest with you. But at the worst possible time. Like, it's like, that's me. I play great in prelims, and then right to the, you get to the semis, and like, I shoot like a 30. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
we're
at
not
37.
we're not 16th ranked in Canada like George there.
That's
No,
right.
no.
That's right.
Those numbers mean nothing. Trust me. I was just at the right place at the right time.
I did my research.
That's it.
Yeah,
Depends how much aiming fluid you have.
exactly. Exactly. So speaking of which, when you guys are playing now a little bit more competitively, is the alcohol the same as at the campground, or is it completely changed?
Same.
Same.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
We try and say it's not. And we try and get more serious. I bet we'd be way better if we got more serious.
Mhm.
But it's more fun right now because we're just doing switch holios.
Right.
So it's just a good time.
Mhm.
So until we get singles and doubles, then it'll get better.
Yeah.
Different.
And we have some good guys we play against, but they're all still drinking the same and having
Sure.
fun. And we can't wait till we can get some serious ones in there.
But that's how it kind of starts, I think, though, too, right? You
Exactly.
want to kind of get the people, come in, drink, have some fun, get them, and then once they start playing, they get hooked right away. And then once you kind of put the competitive side of, you try to put some money down, or like, hey, it's for something, like then people start wanting to get better and better. Are you finding that with your players as well, that once they come one time, they get hooked, and then now they're striving to get better and better and better?
Yeah, they're all getting better and better. It's not good.
So we have 24 people max in a venue.
Wow, nice.
So we fill, well, not anymore, but we fill up, and then we have guys on waiting lists, and like they want to play. And then if there's an open spot, let us in. And we can only have 24. Otherwise, we could probably have 50 a week on a switch holio.
So how long ago did you start your league?
We can't tell you that.
Yeah, we're kind of against the rules, but we were following them. But we're on our 8th week.
Oh, okay.
So now once we can't do league play, so we have practice.
Right. No, that's fine. And my point is, like, over those weeks, have you noticed a difference in the players themselves?
Yeah,
Huge.
100%.
Right.
Really big. Yeah.
And what about your game itself? How has it evolved from the camping ground to a league night or a practice
Tenfold.
night? But
Unbelievable.
what exactly has changed for you two? Let's start with you, Darren. What have you changed? Is it your footing, the bags, the way you hold them?
All of that. All of it. Yeah. It's stance, form.
Just playing more. Yeah.
Yeah. Just repetition. Like, and that's all it is. It's when you see some of those videos, it's like, oh, he's a robot. Well, that's what you need to be the best. You need to be, your shot's the same every time.
Yeah. And the bags help.
Yeah. When you're obviously shooting a 50, you see you're missing the bag, and you're missing the board. And you're like, how do you miss the board? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But everything's changed.
And same with you, Kevin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just getting better and better all the time. Like when me and Caesar just play in the backyard singles games, it takes a long time.
Half-hour battle.
A lot of zeros, eh?
A lot of zeros, a lot of ones. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, though, man.
Yeah. But we don't really know how good we are right now until you can try it against somebody else, right?
Yeah. And I know you guys played in the virtual, and even that's great, because that's kind of what we're limited to nowadays here in Canada anyways. But playing that person beside you is completely different, right?
Oh yeah.
So in the meantime, with the virtual, I mean, you just can't miss. You just got to go for the hole every time.
Yeah.
You don't want to block yourself. You don't want to go airmail, right? So, but it's
I had a buddy that he thought he was really good, and he went down to Vegas and tried in one of those, and turns out he wasn't so good.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, Canada is definitely, we're getting there. Like, I think with everything happening this year, COVID not helping us at all, or last year too, but I think, there is a little bit of momentum happening here. I think there's, like your league sprouted out. I mean, I know you guys have been playing, but there's all these leagues kind of coming across now, Canada kind of getting together. And I think really it's the skill level, like you said, once we get going, we're going to get up there. But we're so far from like anywhere close to being competitive on like a world
Yeah.
stage against like, let's say that like the States for sure.
Yeah.
But they've been playing for 12 years. So think about it. Like they have, like we interviewed, I forget what's that kid's name? Oh my God, it's going, Ian.
Bernissa,
Yeah. So I mean,
Big wonder.
he's been playing since he was like a kid. Like it's like us when we're playing hockey, right? Like I grew up playing hockey, right? From a kid. Like they have kids there that have been playing for 10, 15 years. So no wonder like the talent pool is like insane down there, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I spoke to one of the guys here locally. He went down to the States. This was a few years ago, anyways. And he was up against an American who just got off a plane, drove straight there, running in to make it on time for his game. And he asked, our guy asked him, you want to throw a couple of back and forths? And he goes, no, I'm good to go. And he throws 12 in a row,
Yeah.
and that was the lower division, So,
Yeah.
well, the competition is definitely there, but we're getting there, definitely. There are a lot more teams sprouting out, a lot more leagues across Canada, so it's good.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the standings and you see, like I Googled them today, and all you see is Ontario. A couple BCs in there,
Right.
the top Canadian players.
Yeah.
And now we want to expand that to have Manitoba, Alberta,
Mhm.
Saskatchewan. Hopefully we'll see that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What we found is that it's a lot of it has been because Ontario's been exposed to the American side, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from that at all, but now with this game growing more across Canada, there's more exposure,
Mhm.
and we're starting to have more Canada only tournaments, because I used to run a lot of leagues last year, or sorry, a lot of virtual tournaments last year, and we would invite one or two Americans, and a lot of Canadians just started dropping out because it's like, let's just send our money to the Americans, right? Because they're that much better. So keeping it within Canada, there's still going to be that handful of good players, but you know what? At least it's a level that a lot more people are going to be comfortable with.
The gap isn't as far, right? Like it's almost like even like there's the virtual tournament happening this starting tomorrow. And today's Thursday. I mean, when you guys are watching this, it's probably going to be Monday. But so there's one. Even with that, it's going to be interesting to see, because there's there's a lot. We got 32 players that got maxed out or sold out. There's a lot of players from all across Canada, including you two guys are in it as well. And so it'd be very interesting to see where the level is, because there's some really top-notch players in there. And then the rest of us are kind of, from what I can tell, kind of grouped up into like the second tier, where I think we're all going to be fighting for a spot, really. Like there's going to be the two or three maybe at the top, but not that far away. I don't think it'll be that big of a gap. It'd be curious to see. What do you guys think? Kind of, you played in the other virtual, which was more of just the league directors. It was kind of just like a, get the juices flowing. But what do you think about this one coming up? Like, what are your thoughts on it, and how are you guys preparing?
That last one was, it was sometimes the first game that these guys throwing all winter.
Yeah.
Right. And you get those Americans down in Arizona and stuff like that, where they're playing every day.
Yep.
If you don't have a venue.
Yeah.
Like now I can play in the backyard every day, and it makes a difference. Even throwing a couple bags every day.
Except for that wind we were playing against yesterday.
Yeah. You got to play the wind, right?
We were throwing curveballs onto the boards. It was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. And then one of those throws, the wind just isn't there, and then it just goes
gone.
Right off.
Yeah. Hits your partner, and
yeah.
That's cool. So are you guys looking forward to this one coming up?
Yeah. I told Kevin I'm going to shoot an 80. I want to shoot an 80 for sure.
Nice.
That's my goal.
It's going to make a difference with 5 rounds too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You get those extra 8 bags for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should see. I think we'll see a lot of, because I'm even Dennis, so Dennis and Chris, who made it to the finals, like I think Dennis for sure is going to shoot in the high 70s, high 80s. I know you guys are both going to shoot in the high 80s, high 70s, high 80s. I mean, George is going to shoot in like high hundreds for sure.
Yeah.
But like I think we're gonna be there. It's gonna
Maybe
be like
maybe with an extra 5 frames. Yeah.
yeah, the 60 to 80 mark. There's gonna be a lot of us, congregating in that,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun to see, man.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I am
I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. So, do you guys have any strategy at all? Are you going to be playing
No.
outside, inside? Have more beer? Yeah, exactly.
It depends. It depends.
What does that say? All I read was liver. Shut up,
What's
liver.
Shut up and live it.
Oh,
Oh, you're fine.
attaboy, nice.
I love it.
You got to get some legend holders there, buddy.
That's it, eh?
Do they make them?
Well,
I
they
don't
do
know.
now. Now that you said it, we Legend now makes
Okay.
corn. I should look
Yeah.
into that for
Put
real.
us down.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So the virtual tournament's coming up, and we're all excited about that. This is the first big one that Cornhole Canada is putting together, and because it's across Canada, it's going to be exciting. I mean, there's definitely going to be some rivalry, right? I wonder if we should be sporting our Leafs jerseys and
I know we should.
Yeah.
maybe some Habs jerseys. You
Yeah.
know, if you're if you were in a Hab jersey, then you should be in B bracket just by default.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
you're gone.
I'm
Sorry,
sure there's
Quebec.
gonna be like natural rivalries. Like even I know we're still far away from there, but you guys being out there, I mean, with like on the west side there, like I'm sure naturally, eventually how things work out, like you guys can probably have a rivalry versus like the Kelowna and the High Prairie, even though you're not that close. But I mean, once
It's
things
not.
open
It's
up,
not that far away. Like
yeah, like how far away would it be? Let's say to get to like High Prairie from where you guys are at?
5 hours, 6. Is
Oh,
that
that's
is that
not
north
bad.
of Edmonton?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be
I think
about 9 or 10 hours. Then yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
9 or 10.
That's
Yeah,
not
10 to
bad
Edmonton,
though.
8 to Calgary.
That's not bad because I mean we're talking to some of the guys from the States and they're saying that that's what they got to do to get to some tournaments. They got to drive 10 hours,
Oh, 19
12
hours.
19 hours. Yeah.
Don Fuentes was driving 19
That's
hours.
yeah,
to
that's right.
Florida, Kansas City.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different there, right? Because it's that's what they live and breathe. These guys are pros, right? Just like any other
Yeah.
pro sport.
You're
right?
driving that 19 hours to possibly win $3,000 or $2,000.
Yeah,
It's worth it for them.
Mm.
Exactly. Up here in Canada, we're going to be playing for beer, so it'll one way or the other. One way or the other. Our saying in slow pitch is "win or lose, you hit the booze," right? So it's pretty much
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cornhole. For sure.
We're also sponsored our slow pitch team by Great Western. So yeah, we're just keep going. Our hockey team's Great Western. Our slow pitch team's Great Western.
There you go.
Great Western
It
is
was an easy
the,
sponsorship to get.
that's the
Yeah.
brewing company.
Yeah.
Great Western.
Yeah.
Nice. And are they local to where you live?
They're in Saskatoon. Their head
Oh.
office is in Saskatoon.
Nice. So you guys are right downtown Regina, right? Or nearby?
Yeah, we're right in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't that far.
No?
I'm gonna go inside here. It's getting
Chill,
Yeah,
right?
With some birds.
Yeah, we got
Starting to rain.
No.
We're pretty much maybe 15 minutes across, 20 minutes across the city. It's not very far, not very big.
Have you been to Toronto, either of you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Does it differ a little? It's not like downtown Toronto, that's for sure, right?
a lot.
Oh, that's pretty bright.
A lot. Yeah, we came down there had a tour at the Bauer
That's
factory
pretty
once.
bright.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry, guys.
yeah,
No
went,
worries.
went to a Leafs game. Got to
Oh,
sit in the
boy.
box thanks to Bauer. Yeah, really good.
That's
Getting back,
awesome.
getting back to your league, you're saying that you could probably hit 50 no problem. Like, what is the scene like out in your neck of the woods? Like, obviously you guys have started and you're running your league, but like, how is cornhole like still like when you talk to people, you say, "Oh, I play cornhole." Do they give you that like cockeyed look, like, "What the hell are you doing?" Or is it like a big scene? Like when we were talking to Chris from Kelowna, he was telling us that he goes, "Oh, we've been playing cornhole for like 10 years." Like, from a baseball, after baseball we would play, or we go to like the trailer we're playing like all the time. Like, is it like that in where you guys are as well? Like, do people know the game and they're just haven't really played it at a high level.
No.
Some
they have
people look
they're
at you
like,
strange.
cornhole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's whatever. Yeah, it's like
Don't Google it.
yeah,
Don't Google cornhole.
Yeah, you never
Or
know.
put
what
your
you're gonna
safe
get.
search on at least.
yeah,
Yeah, it's and once explained though, people are like, oh, that game. Oh yeah, we play that all the time at the cabin, or we play it all the time, everywhere, camping. And then they go, so there's a league starting. Where do I sign up?
Yeah.
And like I said, all these people are just within our circle of friends that have been coming out. So we've had about 50 different people, and that's not even it's not even public knowledge yet. Like our Facebook page isn't public yet.
wow,
Right.
So it's all private. Whoever we invited, it's just our friends.
And there's
So once it goes, I think it's gonna.
and there's over
explode here.
200 following that.
And
So
wow.
that's
Yeah, and our venue.
Yeah, your
Our
venue is
hands
like
down.
I'm jealous of that venue. We've been so hard to find even here in Barrie. Like,
yeah.
It's
Was that the
perfect.
outdoors one with all the lanes?
no.
no.
Oh, okay,
No.
it's a different one.
That
Ours
one's nice
has-
too, though.
Yeah, that's Tom, isn't it?
Yeah,
In
Victoria,
BC, yeah.
BC, yeah.
Victoria, yeah. No, ours has 2 halls, all indoor.
Nice.
Restaurant on one side. Like we're ready to host nationals in 2022.
We talked about holding league outside. We talked about holding league outside, and in the summertime, we're like, you get any kind of wind, any kind of rain, we said no, forget it. We're going inside.
Yeah.
So right now, I guess you're in lockdown, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what exactly are the rules down there for gatherings and whatnot?
Well, I think we can still have 10 outside.
10, eh?
Yeah,
And what about restaurants
And-
and things like that?
just takeout.
Restaurants are closed,
And schools?
takeout only, skip the dishes, all that stuff, and then nobody in your home. Can't have people in
Yeah.
your house.
Right. And what about schools? Are they
family
still
only.
open? Schools are open?
We're on Easter break right now, and
Oh,
then
okay.
they're closed for 2 weeks after that.
Yeah. So we just went
We're
into
giving,
lockdown.
we're giving her a
yesterday.
good solid go at April. Yeah.
We
I
were,
thought
we were
Pino said you guys were last week.
well, we were.
They put like an
but-
emergency break, they called it.
Yeah, we were getting closer to starting to open up on April 12th. Things like hair salons and barber shops and restaurants at minimum capacity, malls. But then the numbers just started going up and everything just got shut down. So we're back to basically where we were last year. And I helped run a men's slow pitch league, and we were getting ready to start up May 30th, but now that's out the window. I don't,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't think we're going to be starting until July. If we're
Yeah,
lucky,
ours is May long as well, and
Jesus.
I'm on the board there, and it's going to be tight to get started. Slow
it's really
pitch.
tight. So that's why we can at least throw bags 27 feet apart, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
But then,
So do you pitch too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sebastian and
I was gonna ask, are you guys
Too.
pitchers? Yeah.
Me too.
So okay,
Yeah.
I know we've asked this a million times, but I think pitchers, like, they must have an advantage then, or like we must we kind of tend to play cornhole first just because we have that natural, I guess, muscle memory, I guess, right?
Yeah.
What is it about pitchers
Yep.
that like love cornhole?
It's hitting a spot.
Yep.
And I went from playing baseball since I was 18 and, right till I was 30, and then went into slow pitch or softball. And yeah, it's just hitting a spot.
Yeah, because
That muscle memory. We definitely have an advantage. I think you do have an advantage, just muscle memory wise.
100%, and we're essentially throwing twice as far, right, and hitting that same 2x4 board, right? Mind you, not in a hole, but it's still we're going through wind and things like that. But the muscle memory, I think, is a big benefactor for sure. And then there are some people that are just naturally.
Then you wreck it. Yeah, then you wreck it because I'm a goalie, and then you just lose all your brains. So,
I think too, for me, like, as much, I mean, the muscle memory and just the comfort of that, but it's also, I think, what I find for me is that we can adjust. Like, a lot of players, I notice they start throwing and they can't adjust when things, if the bags, let's say, are flying off, they can't adjust their arc and make it, throw a little bit higher arc so that it doesn't have as much force. Some people are just stuck to their shot and that's it. Where I think the other advantage that
Yeah.
we have as pitchers is that we can adjust on the fly. If it is windy, the wind's coming in. Like, I remember playing slow pitch many times, and I would wait for the wind to come, and I would throw into the wind because I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
it would curve back in, right? And many times it would come and just nick the corner, and the batters are like, "Are you kidding me? Like that happened, right?" But then a
Yeah.
lot of times too is you wait for the wind, you think it's coming, and then it doesn't come, and you're throwing off like 6 feet, right? And I mean, it plays against you too. But I think that's
Yeah.
a big thing for us too, is the adjustment, and that's what anybody like. Cornhole is about adjustment, I think. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
when we first started playing, we just used our boards that we first made here, and they're all different slicknesses and different surfaces and stuff. And people are like, I don't want to play on that board. I don't want to play on that board. So we brought them all home, made all the same, and now you can't bitch. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Now they can bitch about the bags.
That's
right?
right.
well,
Yeah.
now they're all buying their own bags. It's amazing how many people have bought their own bags in the last month because they can tell the difference. And they're more durable than the Amazon ones and everything else too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I
was going to say, it's just like any other sport with baseball, right? And the gloves, you don't go get a Walmart baseball glove. You spend a little bit more to get a nicer glove that feels nice.
Yeah.
Same idea with the bags, because, as you become more and more involved with cornhole, one set of bags is not going to cut it.
Yeah.
If you want to get to the next level, right? Because conditions change, right? Whether it's slick, the humidity at the end of a long night. So that's what I was going to say. So.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, like, what did you find, like, so like the newer players, like, what's their like go-to, I guess, starter bag? Do they mostly go for like a slower bag, or do they like the faster bags that can slip in, or they like what's their kind of like consensus on that?
Most of the new ones are, I don't know if you played with hole shots or even these black CCL ones.
Yep.
They're really sticky on the one side, right? So a lot of the players in our league, they do the flip over kind of thing, so they don't know which side the bag is going on. So if it just happens to hit that sticky side and stop, otherwise it's going off the board every time.
So so a starter player probably starts with like a slower bag, and then and then progress to like a faster bag, which I think is most people's probably tendencies. But let's talk about bags. What are your guys' like what's your favorable, like, do you like a sticky bag, do you like a slick, do you like a little bit of both? Like, what's your kind of thought on bags and types and stuff?
Pretty much me and Caesar can pick up any bag and adjust to it.
I'm fast.
You
like the CCL one, the purple ones.
Yeah.
I'm super fast on both sides, and I love them. I don't.
They just
should never need to use a sticky side.
You get that arc too,
right?
Go high, yeah.
Theory.
I mean, it's a funny thing, because if we look at the back to like Steven Bernasset, his win, like he's playing with, was he playing with the Vipers? Yeah, Vipers, right?
He was playing with Cycles.
So like it's fast and faster, but it's like if you can hit the hole, right? There's like this big argument. It kind of went from like fast to like now everybody wants like the carpet style, like sticky bags, right? They want to do the rollover shot, but that shot there, like, unless you got to practice that so hard. If you can hit the hole with any of those faster bags just a little bit, it's falling in, right? Like, isn't it better to play with a faster bag?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially if you're playing against hole shots are what, 7 and 4. The hole shots are that their rating is.
Yeah.
So something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it also depends, I guess, your partner as well, right? So if you two guys are partnering up, your chances are you're going to go with a fast and faster bag. Whereas if you're partnered up with somebody who's fairly new, you want to go with a stick and slick, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the best of both worlds. But,
what do you guys use?
So that's a great question. I'll let Seb start with that one.
Well, obviously, so my kind of go-to bag right now, I mean, obviously it's a legend bag, but I like I have the All-In Elite, where it's kind of like, I started off from wanting a fast bag. So the all-in bag, the purple bag that you have there, that was kind of my first. 'Cause I'm like, you know what, I want fast. I was emulating like a game changer, or then Vipers came out. So I'm like, you know what, it seems like fast bag is the way to go. And because I can control my arc, I'm like, you know what, a fast bag makes sense because if I can hit it down the line and it hits somewhere around the hole, it's gonna slip right in. Or if there's like two bags I can push through, or if the boards are sticky, I have lots of versatility, right? But now I feel like I'm kind of finding I want a little bit of stick so that I can play a strategy game. Like I want to be able to put up a block that, is going to be tough for my opponent to get through, but also that I can work with and maybe push in and stuff. So I'm using the elite right now, and then I'd probably say, and I've been using the smooth as well. The smooth and the elite are the two that I've been kind of using, but I think it's also because those are my two newest bags that I just made. So I've been playing with the other ones for like a year, so I want to play with them. So, but I feel like I like a middle, like a 4-5 stick to like a 7 or 8 speed is what I would
Yeah.
like as like a go-to bag all time. And then I would have like a really slow bag and a really fast bag, depending on the conditions on the boards.
Yeah, for myself, what plays into it is whether I'm playing singles or doubles with a partner. My partner Tony and I, he likes the hole shots and he likes the stick and slicks because he throws hard. He throws lower and he throws hard. So he needs that sway to slow him down a bit, that little
Oh,
punch.
yeah.
And I like a
Yeah.
fast bag. So I'm good with either one of those because I'll just throw the fast bag all the time. And if I'm playing singles and in virtuals, I go to a fast bag all around. I like a bag that's really loose, really worked in, and I've got a set of nitros that I use. I have a set of legends as well, but they're just not worked in yet to where I really like them. So I'm working on those. But personally, yeah, I like a fast bag, and then that's assuming that it's the same conditions, right? Because we were at tournaments last year where it started raining, right, and the boards were just sticking like crazy. That everybody was grabbing fast bags. So,
Yeah.
but if the conditions are right, and I'm playing solo or virtual, I'll go with the fast bag. Yep, there you go. So
Cool. Good
yeah,
to know.
Nice. Boosted.
and the
Nice.
boosted, yep, absolutely.
How is the boosted? Is that like a medium bag? It's like
Yeah,
Is it
that's really medium. Yeah, a little bit under the nitro, but
Mhm.
higher than the whole shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of bags, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what Tony and I typically use.
Yeah.
There you go, the exact same ones, the gray ones. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so it all depends. And here's another question for you guys: how do you hold the bag? Oh, we lost
Oh.
there.
Oh,
oh, there's his Mario picture.
We'll go with Kevin.
There we go.
There we
Kevin,
go.
how do you hold your cornhole bag?
I don't know, just
Well, but the seam, does it matter?
no.
No way. Okay.
the seam's in my hand.
Yeah, me too.
I try and distribute half the weight on each side of my fingers.
Right.
To kind of cut
Put it right
cut
into my thumb, right
Yeah.
in here.
And do you guys step at all, or do you?
No.
Stand
No.
still?
I'm not a stepper.
Now, how was that transition from pitching? Because pitching, obviously, you're stepping, right?
Nah, slow pitch, not really.
No. Now, are you still playing slow pitch?
I don't step.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess it's like riding. It's like falling off a bike, right? You just get back into it and start
Yeah.
going.
It's
Yeah.
funny about like let's talk about stepping and not stepping. So I stepped. So when I throw slow pitch, always stepped. So when I play cornhole, I started with the step, and I was pretty good. Like I mean, I'm consistent with it too, right? And then let me try not stepping. So I went to not stepping. I taught myself that muscle memory, and now it's like I like it. I feel like I have way more control. I have way less erratic bags, right? And then, well, you know what? I was kind of falling into like not a funk, but like, let me just try stepping again. So I tried stepping in my basement, and I was on fire. I'm like, oh my God, I can't miss the hole, right? So I'll go, fuck, maybe I should go back to stepping. So we had like a family tournament outdoors in my backyard. I'm gonna just try stepping the whole time, and then I sucked so bad. I'm like, okay, fuck this. I'm going back to not stepping, right? But I find that like I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's a mental thing but like the fact that like you're not stepping, I think you can just
Oh yeah.
a little bit more consistent. Like if you need to adjust because you didn't move your step, you're in the same spot, so you just a little bit harder, a little bit less, right? So maybe not stepping
Yes.
is the way to go, but I don't know. It's just a side note that like I went back and forth, I flip flopped.
Yeah. Well, and then he watched what's his name, Chad Guy.
Yeah,
He steps and
yeah. Matt guy.
That guy.
Matt Guy. Yeah,
Matt.
yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, it's every player has their own comfort, right?
Yeah,
And
And then his son doesn't step, so
exactly.
yeah.
it's all with you.
We've had some players that say they step when they're throwing, but when they airmail, they don't step.
They don't step. That's crazy to me.
So that's
Yeah.
another.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But what's crazy though? For me, I have a way better airmail percentage when I step. I don't know why. When I don't step, I can't airmail. I don't know what's going on. My airmail like goes down by half. Like, I mean, it's not that high to begin with. Like, I maybe hit 20% of my airmails, but that's when I step.
10%.
I go down to 10. No, seriously, I can't airmail when I feel like when I step. And one other thing too is when I step, I feel like I have more velocity to the bag too because you have a little bit more motion, right? And when you're staying still, you have to kind of throw the bag a bit more. My seat just went down. It just, there we go.
Our buddy, so we have one of those airmail challenges as well for our tournaments every week, eh? So I got drawn first, so you get 4 bags. My buddy's just jawing me. Oh, he's a slider. He's never getting any. 3 out of 4. Boom.
No way.
Done.
Nice.
It's like, stuck on that, boys. He's a slider. Yeah, I'm a slider, all right.
How do you do your
I
airmail
love that,
challenge?
though. That's just
like how do you do your airmail challenge?
that's
for like,
Kevin's.
That's Kevin's role.
Well, right
can
now
answer.
we're giving out 100% every night, and we just keep drawing till it's gone.
So basically, everybody buys in like $5 or something, $10, or is it part of like the entrance fee of their league fees?
No, it's separate. What do we do, Caesar? It's 10 tickets
10 for $20
$20, or 3 for 10.
And they get tickets.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And then we'll draw, 6 tickets, and the first guy gets 4 bags, and then it just goes down from there. And we just go till it's done.
Nice.
Because you just get different people every night, and we don't know when we're going to end or get shut down like we did, right? So we can't really carry over. But when we do get going, we'll carry it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you'll
stop at 4 tickets, and then
so everybody gets 4 tickets, and then you'll draw one, and then that person gets to play for the pot that evening. So if he misses, then the pot, it's like a progressive jackpot in like poker or something like that.
Yeah, we're not sure if we're
we'll
gonna
sell as many tickets as we can in a night.
What's that?
We'll sell as many tickets as we can in a night. If a guy wants to buy $50 worth, he gets 100 tickets in the draw.
We haven't decided on the number of people we're going to draw in a night that have a chance. I know some of the ones in the States, they just draw one guy, and then if he doesn't hit any, then it all carries over.
Yeah.
Some of those pots are crazy. They're playing for like $500 a bag. It's like crazy, man.
Well, I talked to a guy from Indiana all the time, and he said one of his got up to 10 grand.
Jeez. I'm surprised nobody's hitting it down there.
Like $2,500 a bag. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. I don't know if you watch some of those videos that they do, but they have everybody line up on each side of the thrower, right?
Yeah.
And they just heckle the whole time. So it's
imagine the pressure though. Like imagine the
hard,
pressure.
yeah.
Oh fuck yeah.
On that same note with pressure, on your last virtual tournament that you guys played, when the camera goes on, does it change at all?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
We're shooting.
As soon as you click live, it's like, holy jeez.
Yeah. Shooting 9 bags in warm up. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's put the camera on. Let's go. We're ready. Suck. 38. I'm like, yes, that's not good.
Should we tell him the no live story?
Yeah, you should tell him the no live story.
All right, let's go.
The very first one that we did, the very first time that we played, we were at the hall, and we were kind of getting used to it. And I threw my round, and I think it was 32 or something. And I looked at my camera, and it said, "Press to start video." Yes,
Yeah, that was a mulligan.
A mulligan.
that's a mulligan. Yeah.
Well, like,
And it was
well,
like,
what do we do? Like, do we talk to Sebastian and go, are you supposed to submit your 32 or
Oh,
do you
did
got
the
to
right thing.
redo it?
You did
Got
the
it.
right
What's that?
thing.
It's you got to be live, yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
you got to be live.
Yeah.
If you've started it, like there's, I mean, we probably should
Yeah.
make a hard and fast rule. But if you start the feed and you know, then you could just continue on from wherever, and that's actually in the rule now,
Yeah.
wherever
is.
it
Yeah,
ends
I
off,
saw
right?
that.
But and also too, we've implemented a rule now too, where it's like you need to say when you're live, because I've been seeing like some people in some virtuals where they'll keep throwing like a warm up, and then when they hit like 4 in a hole or 8 in a hole, we go, okay, we're starting now, starting with
Yeah.
24. No. You need to
Yeah.
say you're going
No
live,
kidding. Yeah.
and then you gotta start. But I mean, if you didn't go live, I mean, that one
Yeah.
you gotta chalk up as a good victory for you, man. Because then,
That was
then you threw probably like a 70, right, against me,
60,
probably.
62.
There you go.
62,
See?
yeah. Yeah.
And the reverse can happen where you think you're live and you throw a 90, and then it's like, shit, I forgot.
Oh,
Shit. Yeah.
Sorry. Then
Yeah.
you go throw a 32.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
That's
kind of
the
like the Leafs in the playoffs.
I'll never forget that game against Boston. They were up like by 3 with 2 minutes left,
God.
and then they just shut down. But let's not get into that.
That's
4-1, lost 5-4 in overtime.
Shit.
I don't recall that game at all. My wife's a Leafs fan, so
Oh, there you go.
she hates me for recalling that game.
I'm surprised you're not getting bags with the Oilers on them. Not yet. Maybe next round.
Not yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet. Yeah. They're coming.
For sure, for sure. So back to the bags for a sec. When I first started, I was throwing them like this. The little, can you see that? The little hanging.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, the corner shot.
The
Yeah.
corner
He's like,
shot.
he used to like,
And we had a lot of this because it was after baseball, and it was a lot of fun. But then you start to learn about this game. It's like, holy jeez.
there is a way to, yeah, man. If you gotta throw flat,
It's
or
insane.
there's so many variances, but if you can throw flat, you're gonna see your game. And we've seen it actually at one of your tournaments, George, when we were playing there. A brand new player, never played before, you know, was playing okay. And then we would tell him, hey, just try to throw flat. And by the end of the night, he starts throwing flat. And then, you know, we show him, and then in the end, he ends up beating me in the semis to kick me out, because he's like he starts throwing flat, and the bag starts sticking, right? He's like, listen, throw flat, throw sticky side. You got to know now, like, you know, if the board is open, throw a sticky side, put a block, right? If the board is, you know, clogged up, turn it around and throw slick side to kind of try to push through, right? So it makes a difference for sure.
Yeah.
We have a guy that comes out and plays with us. Yeah. I've never actually seen it before. I'll turn it sideways. He'll actually fold it in like this.
No,
Like a base.
Like
Like a baseball. And then he'll grip the whole bag and he'll chuck it. And he's actually pretty good, but he actually doesn't know, you know, where it's going.
He beat us in a cash game. He beat us in a cash game.
He actually folds the bag up tight.
you have to take a video of that and post that. Like, you have to.
I'll ask Brian.
Yeah.
He'll be happy to. He was
Yeah.
like, "What?
Hey man,
Beat us in a cash game."
if it works too. Like, but I mean, I think consistency, like, he's gonna have a hard time keeping things consistent, you know. But hey, man, to each their own.
It works now. It works for the beach, works for the lake, whatever. But it won't work if you're competing. It definitely won't. But
No.
and he knows that. Like, he knows.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
My next question for you guys is in your league night when you're getting your 20 plus players, what's the ratio of men to women? I'm just curious on that. Do you get a lot of women that come out?
Some are 50-50, some are
really?
70-30,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Some are more women than men, yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
That's one great thing about this game. It doesn't matter what you look like or how strong you are or how
old you are. Like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's just throwing a bag 27 feet, right? So
And playing that switch holio just makes it fair for everybody.
right.
I think that's the way to go. If you're like, you know, gonna start a league or thinking about starting one or running one, like, I think Switch Olio is the way to start when you're just starting out. Like if you have just a new player base and to get things started, and then from there, once you get going, like you guys will probably start noticing, hopefully when things open up. But once you get to 50 plus all the time, you're probably going to want to say, okay, let's do like one night. And the beauty of it is one night is Switch Olio night. Tuesday night, doubles, right? Wednesday night, you do singles. So now you're spreading it across three,
Yeah.
4 nights. And mostly, anybody who's playing in Switch Olio is going to play in singles and in doubles, right? They'll get their partner, and then
Yeah.
once you start that, that's when things will start to spread out. Where it's okay now, like in doubles, I feel like it's going to be like that's like the competition where it's like I feel like that's like the main event almost. And then singles is like obviously out there too, but doubles will be like where you get two partners. That's where things will start getting really like competitive, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you guys
Yeah.
rank your players in your league? Like, you can't just throw them into advanced if they're a novice, or a novice into an advanced. Or
Yeah. So right now, to be honest, so because of COVID, we really haven't had a chance to really have like a league, let's say for a full season, right? To really get like an idea of the player base. So it's such a hard thing because we do want to rank players in that, so we don't want to have always the same people winning every night.
Yeah.
But I think what we're gonna do is we need this city to open up or this country to open up, and we need to have a consistent like 4 seasons of league, I think. So you have like, let's say if we're gonna do like the Monday night Switch Olio, and you run that for 10 weeks, have a championship at the end of that, then run a second one, and then by the second one, right? Even like by the third one, because I think even here, once we get going, I think we'll see like we'll get to like 50 to 75 players, I think, pretty quickly. Then you could say, okay, out of these 75 players, these 25 guys or girls always come in the top, right? Okay, you guys are going to be, intermediate or advanced or competitive. You start tiering off that way, and then you can have like an intermediate Switch Olio and then a advanced, right? And then, but I think it's just a matter of time. But right now, we're
Yeah.
just using Switch Olio and just doing split brackets, right? So everybody's gonna play, and then you do an upper and a lower for that, like so that way you can have like the top whatever it is 8 or 10, and the bottom 8 or 10, and then they have their own mini kind of championship, so that at least everybody has a chance to
Yeah.
win. Like that's probably the best way. I don't know. We're kind of still in the trial phase of that too. I don't know. What do you think, George? Like the best way to do
So,
it?
so my experiences with the KW group, right? And they did it per session or per season, right? It was every week that you went out, you got points, and depending on where you landed that week through Suchola, you got a certain number of points, and then that was just top of the leaderboard. And believe it or not, it made people come out because if you didn't come out, you're getting 0 points. So then everybody else would just keep moving up. So that's a great way to do it as well. Then at the end of the season or the session, there would be the league championship where you'd get cash prizes and stuff. So there's I don't think there's a right way or wrong way, but for me personally, I really enjoyed Switcholio because you got to play with different people, especially newcomers, first time playing the sport. You get to
Yeah.
interact with them, you get to talk to them. Try this, try that, or that's fantastic. Where have you been throwing? And
Yeah.
and at the same time, you get to talk to the better players as well. What do you think of these bags? And you get to try different bags as well. Like let's say you got those legend bags and I've never tried them. Hey, let's try your bags, right? And then hey, I really like these. So because this sport is a lot of interaction, a lot of talking, beverages and whatnot. So
Yeah.
Cholio gives you that opportunity because I also find that when we go to tournaments, my partner and I, we tend to kind of we still interact with people, but we're in our own little bubble because we're focusing on who we're playing next.
Yeah.
Right.
It's more competitive, right? It's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you're
Absolutely.
like a tournament, like especially you have a set partner. You're there to win. You're coming,
Well,
you're coming to play, right? Versus like a league night, Switcholio is kind of more like just.
Yeah.
It's like for me, like the way I think about it is like there should be two things, right? Like there should be like a social, just come out and play, right?
Yeah.
It's $10. No, who cares who wins? You're literally just coming out to play, have some drinks, and then have like for the competitive guys, say, hey guys, it's $25, and
Yeah.
this is the you guys want to play, you want to win money, this is where you play, and you start separating it that way. So you have the guys who and the girls
100%.
that want to just play for fun, and then you have. But I think as it grows, I think just naturally you'll see like I already know from even like this tournament here that the virtual, like I know most of the players, and I can, we could probably already like do a like an advanced and like a, let's say, intermediate and advanced, but like, there's only going to be maybe like, you could probably put 6 players in the advanced and the rest would be in the right.
Yeah.
We just don't have the players, I don't think, right now. We don't have enough player base to really do a true like seeding appropriately, right? Like, I think it's just gonna be a matter of time, and I think doing the virtual and hopefully, with the nationals coming in August, if we can get like 100, the goal is to get, if we're allowed 120 players, like to get 120 players, right? That's the
That'd be
goal
awesome.
to and across, not just from Ontario. Like we're really going to try to, pull to you guys out there and to the other leagues. Say, hey, how many players do you think you're going to bring? 10, perfect. We're talking enough for 10. Kelowna, how many of your players? 10, perfect. So we get like 40 or 50 players from outside of Ontario. Because I think in Ontario we could probably hit 100 players. I think if there was like a big national championship, I think there's enough players that would come out to it, but we want to make it like across Canada, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Knock on wood, August.
Yeah.
Knock on
Everything
wood.
everything so far is looking like, I mean, obviously right now it's like a little scary because when you see how quickly they just, shut it down, and who knows what's going to be. But I think August, if there's going to be a chance for anything to be open up, or like it's going to be in August. I mean, just before
Yeah, I think so.
just before like the winter, the fall where they'll lock it back down again, right? So we'll see.
Back to the Switcholio. I actually ran a fundraiser last year, virtual Switcholio. That was quite interesting because you had to get, okay, Darren, you're up with Sebastian. You guys throw your round right there. Just four ends back to back, 4 bags. Quickly tally up the score, and then Kevin and George. Okay, you guys run. Okay, next round, Kevin and Sebastian. So it was a lot of handling, but Switcholio I really enjoy it. Every time I've gone out to play Switcholio, I think it's fantastic because again, you get to experience everything. You get to experience the other players, the bags, and I know I'm harping on it, but yeah, when I was running my league pre-COVID, it was Switcholio because I had a lot of new players, and I had a lot of guys that were asking me and females, can we come down? Can we come? I'm like, no, not yet, because all of my players are still brand new.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to scare them off that quickly. Eventually they'll get together, but initially it was just more of a newbie league just to expose the game, and we had a few good weeks, and then Sebastian and I were destined to go to Ohio, and now we're still stuck at home.
yeah. I'll never forget that. That day was like, what a crazy, like, to think about it. Like a year ago, literally the day before we're going to.
He had a tournament.
We had a tournament in Toronto, and then literally we were driving the next day to go to Cleveland for the nationals there, the ACL nationals, and it's like the whole world just fucking changes. So this is the first time I swore on this podcast. Holy shit!
No, it isn't.
It isn't.
Second.
Second. All right. You're anyway. So we're like, I can't. The whole world changes, and now it's like crazy to think about where we're at right now, man. It's just crazy, man. Crazy.
I sent you a picture.
Yeah.
I developed a Excel sheet for our Switcholio, so we don't use the app.
Yeah.
Because not everybody, can't make everybody download the app that is brand new and register in. So we have this spreadsheet that I sent you that picture.
Nice. Yeah, I'll show it. I'm not going to do it right now, but we'll definitely post it up in the edit here. But yeah, it looks very like integrate. Yeah, it's almost looks like it's like it does what Switcholio would do, I guess.
Oh, 100% it does. It's just that's our manual way of doing it. Then we re-rank the players at the end, and it's exactly like Switcholio, but just without the app.
So go ahead.
We can't get new people to download the app
right
now.
Yeah.
So now we're on our 2-week break. We're telling people, here's the app, download it. So now we probably got 100 new downloads of the app now from just our group.
Yeah.
Nice.
And people I said, here's 2 more weeks, buy your bags. Like we're not supplying bags anymore. Like
yeah.
So it's actually the 2-week break is actually welcome for us.
Yeah.
Because now it's giving everybody a chance to go, oh, I need bags now. And it doesn't take long to get them.
Yeah.
Legend is what, a week and a half,
Exactly.
Octane's a week.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely growing the game, and I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing it for.
Have you considered hosting your own virtual tournament at all, or you're not there yet? Or
I don't know, not yet. Maybe.
No,
all right, just
No.
wondering.
It's
That's
cool.
We'll keep sharing these ones.
Yeah, the second one that we're doing now, like, well, this one is kind of like the other one was a little bit smaller, but this one, virtual is like, it's good because it keeps the game relevant. I think keeps the game in people's eyes. It's a little bit of like organizing one. George, you do yours live in one day, which is crazy. I don't know how you do that, but it's just the organizing, and then it's like the watching, and like you have to make sure it's a little bit of. I'd rather just play. Like, I just open up, hurry up already, and let's go. Like,
yeah,
I want to play like against people live. Like, virtual's good and all, but I still, even this tournament that we do, whoever wins it, whoever comes in top 3-4, they're not going to be like, oh, the best thing. It's you can't judge like a player from a virtual tournament, because it's a totally different game.
Yeah, you're just playing yourself, right?
You're just playing yourself, right? So like, and it's playing yourself. You're playing with like your own board. Like, realistically, like, it's hard to really say like what the boards all play. Like, they're not going to play all consistently and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Most of the boards, that I've seen are like legit size, but you don't know what the differences are there. So it's to judge it based on a virtual, I think, is like, you can't. I mean, you could say I'm the virtual champion in Canada, sure, but
yeah. At the same time, though, I do want to say that there is still consistency. There's still having that camera on, playing under pressure, things like that. So, I mean, I also don't want to diminish it. It's definitely good, because you still have to consistently throw it. Like, if you can throw all 8 bags in the hole, that's fantastic. You can throw 8 bags in the hole, but can you throw an airmail? No. So we'll never know that, to Sep's point, right? So it is a different game, but unfortunately, that's all we have right now.
Yeah.
Right. So we got to make do. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be playing at all. So it is what it is. But yeah, the problem I have is when people say, "Oh yeah, it's only virtual, this and that." Like really get into it.
Yeah.
I lost because it's and I'm thinking, then why'd you play? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. Who cares?
Oh, it's got some pressure to it. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It definitely hones your skills. You get mad when you miss a shot when you're playing against yourself. Like,
100%.
I was playing in the international one, and on the second or third round, I had a habit that tournament of lining up my bags the same way. All the seams on one side, pick them up and go. One round, the second or third, I misaligned one. It got in my head. Holy jeez, unbelievable. And then in my head the whole time is, it's because I didn't line it up. Next round, because I didn't line it up. Yeah. It's crazy though. It just goes to show you, the freaking, oh my God.
For me, it's like when I miss
pitchers and goalies.
Yeah, make a seamless bag. So.
I know. Honestly, if there's a way to do it, I'd be like, it'd be money for sure. But fortunately, you can't. But my thing that gets me with virtual is when I miss one bag, I start deducting points in my head. I'm like, okay, if I missed the first one, okay, I'm -3, which is like the stupidest thing, right? Because like, but the whole point is to get points. So to me, it's like, if I miss, I'm like, I just lost 3 points, versus thinking, okay, I got another bag, right? I can just make it up. Like, it's okay, get to 70 or get to 80. No, I'm like, I'm in the hole 10 points. I lost 10 points, right? So that's my problem, is like, which is like the dumbest thing, right? But nothing you can do about it.
Don't like knowing the guy or the person I'm up against. I don't like knowing their score, because that also gets in your head. It's like, okay, I missed 3, like Seb says. I can still make it up here, and then you're doing the math in your head and this and that. And just go out there and have fun.
That's what makes it better. That makes you sharper. You're like, oh my God, I need these last 6 bags. Or I'm not even going to beat them. And knowing that score, I think it definitely drives you to be better.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you see in our final when I got my legend bags, the purple ones?
Yeah.
When I had my son there,
yeah.
I put them on the top of the board, and while I was throwing, they were slowly moving down the board. I was like, what? They're sliding right beside me down the board. Like, these are slick.
Yeah, the slick side is slick, man.
Now.
It's how they worked. Once those were, you just got them that day, I think you said, right? And you're through.
Yeah.
And was that against me too? Was that our
Yeah,
game? That
was
was
our
our
Yeah,
game.
final.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Lucas, my son Lucas comes up and he grabs him. He's like, "Dad, these bags are sliding down the board."
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks for that. I think I airmailed one over
Yeah.
the board.
You did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Have you guys washed or boiled your bags?
I watched them
Caesar's washed his. Yeah,
Really?
I haven't yet. Mine are getting pretty
well
grungy from the garage and
from
outside.
Gragolio.
Yeah,
Correct.
garage oleo. Yeah.
Nice.
I gotta
Yeah.
throw them in the washer.
Yeah.
Are
So
you supposed to? We've
So-
heard her. I don't
so-
know.
I spoke with Matt, the Octane guy, right?
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, what do you recommend? And he goes, well, you can throw them in the washer, right? But put towels with them, or just put them in a bin with soap and water, right? Scrub them by
Soak
hand,
'em.
and then just air dry them.
Ah,
Because if one of those beads, or if the seam opens up, you get beads everywhere, right? Then it
Yeah.
can go into. Then you might have to get a new washer or dryer, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want to risk that
True
with
that,
my
yeah.
wife, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
my
go ahead, Seth.
yeah, I was gonna say like my kind of so obviously being making legend bags like kind of we say like same thing. I wouldn't put them in the washer. I don't see any benefit. Like I've tested in the washer. I've tested not. I didn't really see a benefit of in the washer. Put them in a bucket. Soak. Some guys do soaking with like if you want to put
Dishwashing liquid or-
dishwashing liquid or whatever, or like conditioner or whatever. But soaking them, get them wet, and then like dry them out or like wring them out. I put them in the I do put them in the washer just on like the spin cycle just to kind of get the like the water kind of out. But even that, it's like they do open up. Yeah, I'm screwed. Like my wife's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
But I do that and then just let them air dry. I've tried boiling bags too, and I mean, I would say it here too. Like I don't recommend boiling the bags just because ideally like don't really know what it does, but it does loosen the bag. Like I've had a set of legends were brand new. I boiled them to test it up when the whole hype was boiled. Let me see if these guys are for real. It does loosen it up. Like literally, it becomes like nice and loose. Like I threw the bag for like 3-4 months, like outside, right? So it does loosen it up. I find the boiling does, but I wonder if it's just the soaking of it because I boiled it for 5 minutes. It's soaking. They're kind of like I think just doing that is probably your best bet, and then always air dry. And I actually what I do is when you let them air dry for like let's say a few hours, 5-6 hours, and when they're still damp, I tend to throw them when they're wet. Not like insane. I don't even not even 27 feet. I go a couple times down the back of my basement. I throw on the carpet just because I feel like that's what will loosen up the bag because I noticed that when I had a set of bags that we had left in the rain in one of our tournaments where they were in the rain, got soaked, and players played with them. The next day, that bag was so loose and so like worn in, it was like insane. So I go because it got you gotta think of it. It's like material. It's like a cotton or right. So when it gets wet, that's the time to whatever you do to it, it's gonna stay. So if you let them dry and they shrink, then the material shrinks. If they're wet, you throw them around and you really get them worked in, they'll loosen right up and become like butter, right? So there's going to be a little bit of like fine tuning there. You don't want to go too far on either side, but that would be my recommendation to like, work the bags in or just throw them like Kevin. Are they working
These
in
guys
now?
here were really, really stiff when we first got them. I'm using my first game and you saw that one I had 3 over the hole there
I was like,
that they didn't fall in.
I know. It's like,
Everybody's like, you don't use new bags and you're throwing. And I'm like, whatever. So when I washed them, oh my, they're so different right now.
Yeah.
Like I just washed them with a regular load of laundry. Now that I know that they might fall apart, I never even thought of that. My wife's gonna kill me now, but I just toss them in the laundry with them, and then they come out and they're just beauties now. They're beauties.
The other thing you do is,
yeah.
I was gonna say the other thing you do is put them inside sorry, go ahead, Octane. Yeah.
My Octane one's faded. My printed side faded.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the other thing too with like even with washing, like you gotta think about it. It's printed sub material and like even using them, like they are gonna fade, they are gonna, it's to each their own. Like you gotta decide what's important, right? Having a bag that's worked in right away, or you want the like longevity of like the print to last forever, but like they're stiff as hell and you can't even get them in the hole. Like at the end of the day, you're throwing them to play, right? Like they fade a bit, whatever. Buy a new set.
I was gonna say if
Yeah.
you are inclined to wash them, what you can do, and here's a little tip, is put the 4 bags inside a pillowcase with a zipper.
Hmm.
So at least
Yeah.
if something's gonna break, it's minimal.
Yeah. It's going to
Here's a
contain
tip
it.
for you
Yeah.
kids at home,
Yeah, that's right.
Also, get your mom's best silk pillowcase and wash it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Look at that bunch of moms.
I had other bags that I washed that, and then put them in the dryer. Do you guys have those shoe racks in your dryer?
No.
No,
It's just a shoe rack that stays stationary, and you
Yeah, I've
put
seen
your
that. Yeah.
shoes on it, and then
that's awesome.
That's
and
a
then the
good-
bags
That's like
don't
a-
flop.
That's like a North End Regina thing. You know, over here in the East End, we don't have shoe racks
Oh,
in our
yeah.
dryer.
Yeah. You guys are out in the bush out there in the north end a bit more. Your
Yeah,
shoes
yeah.
get dirty, eh?
NOD, yeah.
That's right.
NOD, yeah.
Yeah.
It's SOD right here.
Yeah.
You're the
Awesome.
EOD.
Yeah.
So
Right on, man.
The virtual tournament's coming up. You guys are going to be in it. Any bets on who's going to take it? Which province?
Wow.
Oh, I don't.
Are
how
you
many
in
do
it?
we have? How many do we have from ours? Just me and Caesar.
I think so.
I think there's a
kind of
couple.
disappointed in that.
Sorry, you keep calling him Caesar. What's?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
Oh,
well, do you
that's
see
my
his
nickname.
name there?
Yeah,
Caesar.
well,
Yeah.
That's my nickname.
Well, okay. So are you like a techie guy? Are you in IT?
No,
Okay.
I know how
Yeah.
to work computers.
Because I see
No.
the CZR24.
I know that's just my number from baseball, and
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wear it for
Caesar,
hockey
got it.
too.
Yeah. In our league, he's the brains. I'm the brawn.
Nice. So
He's the techie guy.
Caesar was just a nickname then?
Yeah.
You want to leave it at that? Okay. No
It's through
problem.
baseball. This buddy by baseball gave it to me. Buddy Chris Zeus, his nickname was Zeus. Who met him, came down to trout for our team, and he just gave it to me one day. I'm like, yeah, ran with it, and it just stuck.
What? Speaking of baseball,
like
real
the-
quick, what's happening with baseball this year with you? Are you? I'm sure you tend to play, but what's happening with the leagues?
We're like I said, I'm on the board for our
Okay.
league here too as well. So we're planning to go May long
Yeah.
till it's whole different. It was the
Right.
same last year. We had the same last year. It was
Oh, you did play?
end of April, and they were like, okay, well, you can have 30 people outside. So we're like, okay, perfect. And then we went like 2 weeks before. We weren't sure if we were going to start or not.
Right.
And I think it's going to be the same this year. I think it's going
Yeah.
to be
Yeah. It hasn't
30
gotten
people
better,
outside.
unfortunately. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll
Cool.
go. Our local baseball team isn't going though.
Right.
They shut because it's all college players.
Mhm.
So the Regina Red Sox said we can't do it. We're
Yeah,
not going to do it.
yeah, it's tricky.
Well, yeah,
Awesome.
that's-
guys.
Well, guys, listen, it's been over an hour, if you can believe it, man. Talking cornhole, like who would have thought? You know, 4 guys
Yeah.
Fucking bean
could
bags.
be talking bean bags for like an hour, and like I could talk more, but like I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
I'm getting like the wife is giving me the third degree. I'm sure she's like, the kids want to go to bed.
Yeah.
But listen, thanks for being on. I really appreciate it. Thanks for starting out there in Regina and being like a force out there to kind of grow this game across this beautiful country, and hopefully with COVID opening up this year, you guys can get to like 50, even 100 players and get everybody on the cornhole juice, so to speak, and get them all
Yeah.
going. And I look forward to a rematch with you, Darren.
Oh,
Yes.
Maybe,
That'll
right?
be,
We'll see. Because
You
I
didn't-
feel like I didn't play my A game. I felt that game I was rushed. I had a lot of stuff going on. And so I want a
Gave-
rematch.
Gave me third place.
No, I
Thanks,
didn't.
buddy.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I truly like didn't throw well. But listen, this one's gonna be different. I'm gonna focus, and I'm gonna not count my points off that I missed. I'm not gonna say -3, and then
and you get an extra 8 bags.
I get
Think
an
positive.
extra 8 bags. That's right.
But so does Darren, right? So
I know.
Think-
I know.
think
It's gonna be
positive.
like I think
Think
both these
positive.
guys are
Get
gonna
that
be
negative.
like,
Get that negative number out of your head.
that's it.
Think
That's it.
positive. You can
That's
still
it.
shoot 9.
That's it. That's right. So yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks for.
Hey,
thanks for
And-
being on.
and Chris H from Kelowna, if you're listening, I got a little redemption for you.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
See
Nice.
see what I mean?
That's
It's
just
already.
trash talking,
It's it.
baby.
Let's go, man. Like you know what? We're all friends, but at the end of the day, when that camera turns on, let's go, man. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, guys, thanks again for being on, and we'll, as we do in Canada, drinking your beers. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers, eh?
Cheers
Cheers,
to that. Nice meeting you, George.
Likewise,
right.
guys. Great
Climb
meeting
up
you.
that list.
Good
So
luck
one
this
last
weekend.
question. Are you hop higher on the list now? Because that list was from January.
We haven't been playing, so I don't know which list you're talking about. Is it the ACL?
Oh, it's on Kville. It's on your KW Cornhole
So we haven't been playing, right?
website.
So
At all?
no, not
Like,
at all.
None of your virtuals even count for this? Oh,
No,
okay.
not at all.
No,
When I do my virtuals, it's just for fun. It's no points, no nothing. Just get out there and throw. It's
Gotcha.
been stuck there since last year. But,
Just
but yeah, thanks for coming. Sorry, Seth.
Yeah, no, a side note. So this one will be, we're gonna post like for the virtual tour that's happening. It's gonna be like legit. It's gonna be on the virtual kind of side of things, but it'll be a scene. You'll be like ranked somewhere in the virtual space. So
And
this is
nice.
we'll have the live championship match
yeah, exactly.
right here in Northern Baggers.
That's
Hopefully
right.
you guys
Yeah,
are on.
we'll do that again for sure.
So,
That was
Yeah.
awesome. That shot to end was awesome.
Like
you missed
Unreal.
the bag. You missed the bag.
like
was
that's
good.
so
Yeah, that too.
So before a side note with that, so he's throwing the bags, right? And I have my, so he's throwing to me on my camera, and I'm recording it and watching it, right? As I'm watching it, he's throwing. Doesn't my fire alarm go off? And he doesn't know because like it's right. My daughter's freaking out. My son comes running in because in my house, for whatever reason, like the alarm system here is like it says fire, and it's like so he starts freaking out. And so thank God I had my mic off, or else I would have. But then he's like throwing, and I'm watching him throwing, and I'm like, and then he throws that craziness, and then you don't hear me talking because I have my mic mute. But he's like, and I kind of go, he goes 18. I go, I'm pretty sure there was more, but okay, if you threw 18, you threw 18. I was like, because I was so distracted. If it wasn't for his wife, I would have tallied it, I think 18 at that. I would have probably watched it again, but yeah, he almost like screwed himself because I think he would have actually lost if he didn't hit that bank. He
Yeah.
would have lost by 1
Because there was
point.
one more in the hole than what he thought. Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy, man.
It was
What
awesome.
a round.
That was a good
that
final.
was like awesome round. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of that with this new one too. So
Thanks again.
Right on.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
hopefully the games can go quicker this time. People can play outside if they can, right?
yeah,
Oh, now there's the 48 hour. Did you do 48 hours as well?
48.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because of wet, you don't, whether you want to give everybody a good opportunity if they're working and stuff on the weekdays, right?
And you can play indoors or outdoors.
Indoor or outdoors,
So I
yeah.
don't want to hear any
Yeah.
complaining from you guys, not you guys, but
Yeah.
from guys watching that are playing outdoors. Oh yeah, that guy beat me because he's playing indoors. Well, those are the rules,
That's for
you
true.
know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Let's have fun, you know.
Cool.
Once again, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks for
See
having
See you
us.
in August.
Awesome time.
See you know.
Hopefully we'll see you in August.
So take care.
Yeah. Okay.
Later.